When people come into our research center and they'll go vegan because we ask them to, because we're trying to tackle their diabetes, and they do great. But the one thing I hear them say is, I just miss cheese so much. And if you look at what's in it, it is surprising, just as you were saying. First of all, coming out of the cow, it's got lots of problems. It's one of the biggest sources of saturated fat, that's the bad fat. And then when you turn milk into cheese, they add a huge amount of salt to it. The reason they're adding salt is because they've added bacteria that are fermenting it, and you don't want them to go too far. Well, what are those bacteria? Well, if I'm making, say, a Munster cheese, what they add is called Brevibacteria. It's the same genus of bacteria that are between your toes. That's right. If your creepy roommate forgot to do the laundry for an extra long period of time, the smell you are smelling, that smells kind of like Munster cheese, it's Brevibacteria. And then they will add rennet to it, which comes out of the fourth stomach of a slaughtered calf. It's an enzyme to curdle it together. If they don't use that...
So they actually take it from a dead baby cow.
Right.
From his dead stomach.
Fourth stomach, exactly.
That's so sad and gross. Okay.
Well, it gets worse. But now, some dairies don't use that anymore, and they use a different rennet, which happens to be genetically engineered. But they don't usually write that on the cheese because they know nobody wants to buy genetically engineered cheese. So that's kind of for starters. It's, I think, hands down, just about the most unhealthy food that people eat, despite the fact that people get hooked on it.
And then, so the pus and the manure, that's also in it too.
It's because it came out of an animal, and the animal was artificially inseminated, and dairy cows have been bred to produce a lot of milk, and some of them are given hormones, growth hormones, to cause even more milk production. Their udders get distended, and they get a condition called mastitis. It's an inflammation. And so you'll see more and more and more pus, and the dairy farmers all know that the pus is in there. They just try to keep it under a certain level, but it's in every carton of milk you ever got. The manure, it's amazing. You should go to a dairy. They will take, literally, a flamethrower, and they will zap it under the udder to burn off the little hairs and to kind of sterilize whatever manure is on there. Then they put the milking things up. And there's a certain amount of manure and pus in every glass of milk. Isn't that lovely?
It's the truth, though, and I believe that everybody should know how bad it is for them and also how bad it is for the cows.
It's true. I have to say, though, cow's milk is not entirely unique, because if you went into the store and looked at the chicken carcasses that they're selling, many of them have salmonella and other things that come from chicken manure. That's not going to happen, obviously, if you're consuming plant products.
Exactly.
But it's a big problem with animal agriculture.